How we doing? My name is Kellen, Mr. Kid on Instagram. I got my 2002 Type S Acura RSX transmission right here. I'm gonna be changing out the shift selector springs. Just kind of here trying to help you guys out, the people who don't know how to do it, because I'm just like you, people who watch YouTube videos to learn how to do it. I know this is kind of something that's difficult on a transmission, kind of taking it apart, but it's not that difficult. All you need is a 10mm socket, an 8mm Allen wrench, and yeah, let me just take this apart and kind of show you how it goes. Alright, I'm going to pop these 4 10mm bolts off the top before I do anything. There are 2 that are longer, and I'm going to show you why they're longer and which ones those go to, so don't worry about that. So these are the 4 bolts. As you can see, 2 are longer, and I'll show you what's that. Now I'm gonna pop off this little Allen head right here on the side. Pop off this 10mm Allen head, and then you're free to pry up and take this selector off. All this is a little bolt that basically holds the selector in place. Even though you have the bolts out on the top, the selector still won't come out. Okay, I know I went kind of fast on that last video, so let me explain to you real quick of exactly where bolts I took off, and so you have a little bit better of an idea. Okay, so here's the shift selector. There's 4 bolts here. 1, 2, 1 through the actual selector, and then 1 on this backside kind of hidden. So there's 2 that are different, and I showed you those, and I'll explain to you in a second. And then here, down here, exactly down from the selector, there's this 8mm, and that's exactly where you take that bolt out. You can actually see inside. So now you're able to pry up. So what I do, I just grab this Milwaukee screwdriver. There's a spot right here underneath where you can pry, and I just pry up just like that. You can see it just came up just easy, just like that. Come on this side, give it a couple pry. Boom, pops right out. Nothing to worry about, no springs popping out. Boom. Okay, so this is, once again, this is my 02 Type S RSX shift selector. I'm just going to be changing the springs right here. So this is the whole piece right here, all put together, a bunch of little gears and little springs and everything like that. But we don't need none of that. We just need to take out these springs. So we're going to take out this 12 right here. I like to use my impact gun. So what you're going to do is you're going to grab it like this with your strong hand, and we're going to hold it. We're going to hold it together like this, so your hand blocks it from popping out. All we do, hit the 12, pops right out. Definitely do not lose this washer. You need this. So now, as you can see, you can the sleeve will pop all the way down, and you're good to go. I'm not going to take mine out since I already did it, but this is exactly how you do it. As long as you hold these in, you can slide these springs in and out. As soon as you pull this out, hold it nice and tight so none of these slip out of the hole, and you're good to go. I'm going to bolt mine up and show you exactly how to put it back, because there's a little thing I want to show you. The real reason I made this video, that kind of something that worried me when I took mine off. So as you can see, it lines up nice and easy. Boom, put that back in. I like to start mine by hand. Get the little impact.
Okay, the battery shut off.
Oh, it did? Okay, so it's all back together. Boom. Got my 12 back in. Springs are out. Supposed to hit this with a 23 torque wrench. I got my 3/8 Duralast one. Torque wrenches, I have a love and hate relationship. They're supposed to not bust bolts, but I busted 2 already, but I've already tested this already, so we're just gonna hit it with 23 pounds real quick. Oh, done dilly. Okay, I can't stress to you how important it is to keep all these surfaces clean. So on the shift selector, you gotta clean all this area right here, get all the gunk off. On the transmission on top, you gotta clean all this off, get all this gunk off here. One of my studs did stay onto this, but it's just a helping point to help you get it down, so I'm gonna leave it on there and not stress. Here's my Honda Bond. I like to use it like a marker and just dab it on here real quick, get a nice little seal. I'm gonna go around the whole top of this, get a nice little seal, like a little marker while I'm pressing out. I go around the stud a little bit, I always like to go over it with my finger, just so I know there's not any little high spots, and it goes over good once we put it down. Just give it a quick little hit. Get it nice and even. Boom. Okay. So here's now the time I'm going to tell you about these bolts, the longer ones. So as you can see on the selector, there's some extra material, a little bit more metal on there, and those are the ones on that side and on this side. As you can see, this side's flat, this one actually has a little bit. Those are the parts where the longer bolts go. And that was kind of a little part that I was stressing on when I did it, and that's kind of why I made this video, because when I did mine, it kind of stumped me when I got these extra bolts. I was like, oh damn, I didn't know where they went. So that's where they go. Don't stress, easy go. So what I like to do is get this little part right here. I got a little bit of lube on it. Get this so we don't have no metal to metal contact when we put it back in the shaft. I already got mine on there. I use Lucas, so if you like to put assembly oil, I use a little bit of Lucas assembly oil. All right, here we go. I'm gonna pop this bad boy down in here. See, fits in there nice and perfect. Get it down in that hole. Boom. In like Flynn. Get our long bolts in our spots where they go. Here's one right here in the front, just like we talked about. The other long bolt goes through the actual selector right here. Get that one down in there, and the other two go on the sides. I always like to start my bolts by hand. I don't need no cross threading. Big problem I had in the beginning on my VTEC solenoid, so I don't want that to happen again. So I use my ratchet when I come back. Same thing you do every time. Cross tight. All right, we got it all buttoned up here. Got a little droplet of Loctite on all 4 of these. I don't torque down 10mm bolts anymore because I break them, so I just use my hand tight. I got a little bit of Loctite, blue Loctite on this bad boy. I torqued this one down to 35 pounds, and that's it for the shift selector. I always just kind of go through the gears, you know, there's 3 on top. Boom, 1, 2, 3, and then there's 3 on the bottom. Come down. Everything working correctly, and you're all good to go. As for the paint, this is my first stage of primer on here. This is a high heat VHT primer. Man, it looks great. Didn't really have to do too much prep. Just hit it with the primer and it's good to go. I'm gonna do one last primer stage on the shift selector area, and then it's gonna hit it with the paint with the regular aluminum high heat. As you can see over here, this is the finished product that I did on my motor. Done with the VHT high heat, aluminum paint, clear coat, all finished. But we'll go into the motor on another day. That's it for this channel. Just changing the shift selector on the Type S motor. Tune in to Mr_Kid_Garage for the next video, and thank you for tuning in. Hit your subscribe button or your like, and that would be much appreciated. Catch you on the next one.